One of the best feelings as an anime fan is an anime that's completely finished. No waiting, no cliffhangers, just pure binge-worthy perfection. For me, there's nothing more satisfying than diving into a completed series and experiencing the full story from start to finish. That's why today, I've put together something special. These aren't just shows you watch and move on from. They're masterpieces that leave an impact long after the credits roll. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into this lineup of certified masterpieces.
So, does that mean you'd kill to protect me?
Starting off the list at number 30, we have Erased. It is one of the best mind-boggling mysteries you will ever watch. Erased is only 12 episodes long, and you can enjoy the thrill and suspense without any cliffhangers. Erased focuses on a 29-year-old Satoru. He looks like a regular human, but because of some reason he can travel back in time before anything significant happens. His life becomes a mess when he is sent 18 years back in time, the longest he has ever traveled, and mysteries of his childhood unveil that will change his future as well. I was anxious the whole time, hoping things would go different this time around. If you like time travel, mystery, or anime that makes your soul hurt in a good way, this one's non-negotiable. At number 29, we have Sunny Boy. Imagine being a high school student, going about your usual day when suddenly your entire school building is thrown into a void-like dimension. That's the terrifying reality faced by 36 students who find themselves completely cut off from the world as they know it. As if being trapped in an alternate dimension wasn't enough, some of the students start developing supernatural powers, and things quickly spiral out of control. With these new abilities come conflict and division. The student council tries to maintain order, but tension rises as the powered students rebel against their strict rules. What begins as a fight for leadership and control soon turns into a desperate struggle for survival as they discover that this strange world has its own rules. Rules that must be followed if they want any chance of staying alive. This anime combines elements of psychological tension, supernatural powers, and survival, keeping you on the edge of your seat with every twist and turn.
Kansei University?
Track and field competition?
In other words, everybody who's living here in the dorms right now is a member of that very team.
Coming in at number 28, we have Run with the Wind. It starts with a dude chasing another guy down the street yelling, "Hey, do you like running?" And somehow that moment kicks off one of the most unexpectedly wholesome sports anime I've ever watched. 10 college guys, most of whom have absolutely no business running, get pulled into a half-baked plan to compete in one of Japan's biggest marathon relays. One of them smokes like a chimney, another can barely make it to the corner store without wheezing, and none of them asked for this. What starts as a ridiculous idea slowly turns into something genuinely meaningful. The show isn't really about becoming the fastest. It's about rebuilding confidence, rediscovering purpose, and learning to keep going even when life already knocked you down once. Everyone's running for a reason, and that reason hits harder than expected. Trust me, guys, just watch this anime, and you won't regret a second of it. At number 27, we have 91 Days. As a child living in the town of Lawless, Angelo Lagusa has witnessed a tragedy. His parents and younger brother have been mercilessly slaughtered by the Venetti Mafia family. Losing everything he holds dear, he leaves both his name and hometown behind, adopting the new identity of Avilio Bruno. 7 years later, Avilio finally has his chance for revenge when he receives a mysterious letter prompting him to return to Lawless. Obliging, he soon encounters the Venetti Don's son Nero and seeks to befriend him using the skills he has quietly honed for years. Set during the Prohibition era, 91 Days tells the story of Avilio's dark, blood-stained path to vengeance as he slowly ends each of the men involved in the killing of his family.
By accident.
Remember, you chose this path.
It's Sphinx. They released a new video.
Remember, there will be another boom if you don't solve it in time.
Shibazaki, Roppongi's been hit. We should take this as a direct challenge to the police force.
Taking the 26th spot, we have Terror in Resonance. Tokyo is brought to its knees by two teenage boys, 9 and 12. On the surface, they're terrorists, planting bombs and taunting the police with riddles. But here's the catch. They're not after destruction. They're after attention. Every explosion, every riddle, every move, it's all part of a bigger message. Enter Shibazaki, a sharp but washed-up detective, the only one who senses that behind the chaos is a much darker truth. This isn't your average thriller. The animation is pristine, the pacing razor sharp, and the soundtrack turns every scene into pure tension and tragedy. 11 episodes. That's all it takes for terror and resonance to drag you into a story of loss, revenge, and a cry for justice the world never wanted to hear.
程教师，别干傻事！好了，知道了，都念叨多少遍了？准备。
At number 25, we have Link Click. In the middle of a modern city sits a tiny shop called Time Photo Studio. It looks ordinary, but the two guys who run it, Cheng Xiaoxi and Lu Guang, have a job no one else does. They can enter photographs and relive the exact moment the picture was taken. Clients bring photos with wishes, trace a lost memory, fix one moment, or discover the truth, and these two step inside to make it happen. Cheng Xiaoxi and Lu Guang don't just watch the past, they become the people in it, navigating other lives while trying not to break their own. Visually, it's slick, crisp animation, moody lighting, and a soundtrack that nails the emotional beats. It's short, focused, and surprisingly moving. Link Click is one of those shows that sneaks up on you and then won't leave your head.
Fortunately, their salvation is something far more sinister. And by his hand, evil shall know suffering as well. He is Alucard, the Helsing organization's deadliest weapon against the wicked.
Coming in at number 24, we have Helsing Ultimate. While the animation and action sequences are fantastic, with fluid movements and over-the-top violence that horror fans will love, Helsing Ultimate falls a bit flat when it comes to characters and story. The plot follows Alucard, an ancient vampire who works for a vampire hunting organization in England, but he feels overpowered and two-dimensional. The pacing is uneven, jumping from slow build-ups to sudden action scenes, even though it is filled with some of the most brutally epic action scenes you will see in a show of this style. Don't get me wrong, this is one of my favorite series of all time, and it's on this list for a reason despite its flaws. If you're in the mood for a wild ride full of ghouls, demons, and gallons of blood, Helsing Ultimate is pure, unfiltered fun.
一番変わっちまったのはメンマちゃん。なんだよな。
Number 23 goes to Anohana. Jinta Yadomi spends his days as a recluse, skipping school and losing himself in video games, far removed from the world around him. But one summer afternoon, his peaceful isolation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of his childhood friend Menma. She's as lively and persistent as ever, asking Jinta to fulfill a forgotten wish. The problem? Menma tragically passed away years ago. At first, Jinta brushes it off, thinking it's just a heat-induced hallucination. But the more he interacts with Menma, the more he realizes that her presence is real. Her ghost has returned, and she won't rest until her wish is granted. This brings Jinta face to face with his past as he reconnects with his childhood friends, a group that has drifted apart since Menma's untimely death. While that premise carries an undeniable emotional charge, Anohana is one of the most heartfelt slice-of-life anime of all time.
どうしたんだ
？At number 22, we have another. Koichi Sakakibara is transferred to a new school in the village of Yomiyama. 26 years ago, a student had died here, and since then, a gloomy mood has set over the town. The atmosphere is heavy, the students are distant, and whispers of a tragedy from 26 years ago still linger in the air. That's when he notices Mei Misaki, a strange girl with an eye patch that nobody else seems to acknowledge. But here's the chilling part. Koichi is the only one who can see her. One by one, horrifying accidents and brutal deaths start piling up, leaving the students trapped in a curse they can't escape. With time running out, Koichi and their classmates must uncover the truth before the entire class is wiped out. Creepy, suspenseful, and dripping with atmosphere, another is the kind of horror mystery that'll keep you guessing right up to its shocking finale. Coming in at number 21, we have Dororo. Some stories grab you by the heart from the very first scene, and Dororo is one of them. It begins with Daigo Kagamitsu, a ruthless warlord so hungry for power that he makes a pact with demons, offering up his unborn son in exchange for prosperity. The child is born without limbs, eyes, ears, or even skin, nothing but a living sacrifice. Left to die, he's saved by a kind medicine man who outfits him with prosthetics and weapons, giving him a chance to survive in a world that had already rejected him. That boy, later known as Hyakimaru, sets out on a brutal journey. Every time he slays one of the demons who stole from him, he regains a piece of his body. It's a quest for survival, but also for identity, as he struggles to reclaim not just what was taken from him, but what it means to be human. With haunting visuals, raw emotion, and unforgettable characters, Dororo carves its place among the greatest completed anime stories ever told.
This boy's name is Yusuke. He's 14 years old and is supposed to be the hero of this story. But oddly enough, he's dead.
I've turned into a ghost?
Bingo! You are for the moment the spirit detective of Earth. Botan will supply you with information on your cases. They won't be easy. I hope you're ready.
Entering top 20, we have Yu Yu Hakusho. Sometimes the best stories begin where life ends. Yu Yu Hakusho follows Yusuke Urameshi, a teenage delinquent who dies saving a child from an oncoming car. But instead of fading away, he's given a second shot at life, on one condition. He becomes a spirit detective, tasked with investigating supernatural disturbances between the human and demon worlds. What really sets Yu Yu Hakusho apart is Yusuke himself. He starts off brash, reckless, and defiant, but across the journey, we see him grow into someone willing to fight for more than just pride. Fast-paced, emotional, and packed with some of the most iconic arcs in shonen history, it paved the way for many of the greats that came after. 3 decades later, it's still a powerhouse that proves why classic shonen will never fade.
鮮明に息づく者たちの姿が、自分はまだまだやれるような、そんな気にさせてくれる。
Taking the 19th spot, we have Mushishi. Anime is often an escape from reality, and Mushishi is the greatest escape the medium offers, transporting the audience into a familiar yet strangely mystical world. Set in feudal Japan, Ginkgo travels the country researching the mystical creatures known as Mushi, which have strange, supernatural connections to the world and its people. The slice-of-life genre isn't as appreciated among mainstream fans as it should be, but Mushishi is the one that snuck through, bringing its relaxing excellence to viewers. Although it is still not very popular, the anime has reached enough hearts to convince them of its renowned elements. Mushishi is a masterpiece that takes viewers on a new atmospheric journey with every episode, delivering no dull moments. It's unlike any other anime you have ever watched. At number 18, we have Pluto. Set in a future where humans and advanced robots live side by side, the world is still scarred by the aftermath of a great war. The story follows Gasicht, a robot detective drawn into a chilling mystery. But these aren't ordinary cases. Someone is hunting down the world's most powerful robots, one by one, and leaving a trail of mystery and fear in their wake. With its haunting atmosphere, razor-sharp tension, and emotional depth, Pluto stands as one of the greatest completed anime of all time.
Are you ready to grovel at my feet and beg for forgiveness?
Coming in at number 17, we have Samurai Champloo. Some anime just ooze style, and Samurai Champloo is the definition of that. Set in an alternate Edo period Japan, it throws together 3 complete opposites. Mugen, a wild breakdance swordsman who fights like chaos itself. Jin, a calm and disciplined ronin with deadly precision. And Fu, a determined girl on a mission to find the samurai who smells of sunflowers. Samurai Champloo fuses historical fiction, action-adventure, comedy, and hip-hop, forging a unique and striking style. The fights are insane, Fast, raw, and beautifully animated. This anime isn't just another samurai tale, it's an experience, one that still feels fresh no matter how many times you revisit it.
Do you know that there are 3 things that I particularly hate?
Really?
Kids, animals, and women with attitudes. So tell me, Jet, why do we have all 3 of them neatly gathered in our ship?
At number 16, we have Cowboy Bebop. When it comes to short yet legendary anime, Cowboy Bebop wears the crown. With just 26 episodes, it left a mark that most long-running series could only dream of. Set in a gritty, melancholic future, it follows a ragtag crew of bounty hunters, or cowboys, as they drift through space chasing criminals, money, and sometimes just meaning. What makes Cowboy Bebop timeless is how it blends so many genres into one masterpiece. Some argue it's overhyped, but ignoring its influence would be pure foolishness. Cowboy Bebop has inspired creators worldwide. Its only flaw is that it ended too soon. But honestly, this is one of those cases where quality beats quantity every single time.
お父さん、よう言うてたわな。お皿洗って、後片付け終わるまでが、料理やって。
At number 15, we have Summertime Rendering. The story begins on the peaceful Hitoishima Island, a sunny, quiet town where nothing ever happens, until everything does happen at once. Shinpei Ajiro, your average laid-back guy, returns home for the funeral of his childhood friend. But something feels off. People are acting strange. Some are seeing copies of themselves. And then comes the twist. This island has a shadow problem. These shadow creatures copy people, kill them, and take their place. As for Shinpei, he keeps dying, stabbed, shot, even shadow-slapped, only to wake up again a few days earlier. He's trapped in a time loop, forced to relive the same days while trying to uncover the mystery and save everyone he cares about. Somehow, this anime manages to mix horror, sci-fi, mystery, and summer vibes into one chaotic, mind-bending masterpiece. At number 14, we have Kuroko no Basket. Teiku Junior High's basketball team was untouchable, thanks to 5 prodigies known as the Generation of Miracles. But after graduation, these once teammates became rivals, each seeking glory at different high schools. Enter Seirin High School, home to 2 freshmen ready to shake up the game, Taiga Kagami, a fiery powerhouse fresh from the US, and Tetsuya Kuroko, a quiet, unassuming player with a game-changing secret. While Kuroko may look invisible on the court, that's kind of the point. His misdirection and passing skills earned him the nickname the Phantom Sixth Man of Teiku. Together, Kuroko and Kagami vow to take down each of the Miracle members and lead Seirin to the top of Japan's high school basketball world. What follows is a hype-fueled journey packed with gravity-defying dunks, no-look passes, and court rivalries that feel like superhero showdowns. If you're looking for peak sports anime energy with a satisfying finish, Kuroko no Basket delivers the full package. At number 13, we have Parasite the Maxim. Meet Shinichi Izumi, your average shy high schooler just trying to get through life. That is, until a murderous alien tries to crawl into his ear. Luckily, Shinichi was wearing earphones. Unluckily, the alien takes the next available route, his right hand. Now his arm is possessed by a sarcastic, shape-shifting alien named Miggy, basically Siri with knives. Together, they form the most awkward survival duo imaginable. While most aliens go full head invasion and masquerade as terrifying humans with origami monster faces, Shinichi and Miggy are the odd ones out, trying to survive in a world where almost everyone wants them dead. It blends horror, sci-fi, and emotional weight in a way that's hard to forget. With sharp animation, philosophical themes, and a killer soundtrack, this 24-episode ride is lean, clever, and hits harder than you'd expect.
Her existence had been kept hidden from everyone. However, some of the people who knew about her said that she was a weapon. She was just a tool without a heart.
Stepping away from the action-packed fight animes, at number 12 we have Violet Evergarden. It's a show whose narrative exploration is just as beautiful as the animation. Set in a post-war, European-inspired world, Violet Evergarden follows a young girl named Violet. Raised only to be a tool of war, she knew nothing beyond orders and obedience. But when the war ends and the guns fall silent, she's left with one final memory, the haunting last words of her major. Violet gets a job writing letters as an auto-memory doll, with her job being to properly capture the emotions of her clients and convey them. Coming from a bleak childhood, Violet is rather robotic in her approach to things. She does not fully understand the concept of love. As such, Violet Evergarden is genuinely a story of feelings.
大丈夫。君ならできるよ。
僕を突き動かす。力強く。鼓動のように。君の音が聞こえる。君がいる。
At number 11, we have Your Lie in April. If you're not ready to cry, you might want to skip this one, because Your Lie in April will absolutely wreck you in the most beautiful way possible. The story follows Kusei Arima, a piano prodigy who loses all color in his life after the death of his mother. The trauma runs so deep that he can no longer hear the sound of his own piano, and with that, his music, his passion, fades away. But everything begins to change when he meets Kaori Miyazuno, a free-spirited violinist with a radiant smile and a mysterious pain of her own. Through her, Kusei finds the courage to face his fears, rediscover music, and feel emotions he'd long buried. This anime is a symphony of heartbreak, healing, and love, woven together with stunning animation and a soul-stirring soundtrack. So here's a gentle warning: if you're not ready for an emotional ride, tread carefully. But if you're brave enough to face it, Your Lie in April will stay with you long after the final performance ends.
We are assassins. Our target is our teacher.
What I'm about to tell you, we in the business call classified. I'm gonna need you to kill this thing for the sake of mankind.
At number 10, we have Assassination Classroom. Even if you're short on time, make time for this one. Because Assassination Classroom isn't just an anime, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. This series blends everything: side-splitting comedy, heart-wrenching emotions, meaningful life lessons, and some of the most creative assassination attempts you'll ever witness. At the center of it all is a class of misfit students, and their alien octopus-shaped teacher, Koro-sensei. Yes, you heard that right. Their teacher is a super-powered being who has threatened to destroy the Earth. But before he does, he offers humanity a bizarre chance. If his own students can manage to assassinate him before graduation, the planet will be spared. With stunning animation, clever writing, and a story that tugs at your heart just as often as it makes you laugh, Assassination Classroom is a rare gem. Trust me, this is one anime you'll never forget.
So you're not a human.
I can't be a ghoul.
Well, you're not a ghoul either.
At number 9, we have Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul starts off with an innocent vibe, only to drag you headfirst into a brutal world of fear, identity, and survival. The story follows Ken Kaneki, a kind-hearted and bookish college student whose life takes a horrific turn after a date gone wrong. He wakes up in a hospital, only to discover